if 20 plus million people have watched Rings of Power, like, why is there only 15,000 reviews? I had a couple emails from people saying, hey, my review got deleted. What's going on with that?
2 days later.
Now there's only 11,900 reviews. I'm sure they're evenly dispersed. What? Wait a minute. They deleted only 1-star reviews, which now represent only 3%. What is going on? Did they think we weren't going to notice? Did they think we weren't going to notice? Well, it's a good thing I had a fresh order of delicious coffeebrandcoffee.com coffee to get me through the latest episode of The Rings of Power, the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power, the Ring-a-ling-a-ding-dong. 6 hours. 6 hours into the show. And literally nothing's happening. Nothing. If I wasn't watching the show to provide good faith content, I would have dipped by now. Let me know in the comment section down below, by the way, if you've already dipped. Like, I would assume that people have dipped. There's so much great content out there, especially if you have a VPN you can use to get access to. If you already have like Disney Plus, Netflix, and all this stuff, you'd be shocked how much extra content you get just by using a VPN. In fact, check this out real quick. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Private Internet Access. Now, you know Private Internet Access has been with the channel for a very long time, but it's also the world's most transparent VPN provider. With over 30 million downloads, they never record or store data, and their no logs policy has been proven multiple times in court. Private Internet Access hides your IP address and encrypts your internet connection, and Private Internet Access also comes with loads of entertainment benefits. The VPN works with all major streaming services, so you can access more content than ever before anywhere in the world. Plus, it's one of the few VPNs that support P2P file sharing, and if you don't already have a VPN, signing up for Private Internet Access is risk-free. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee with 24/7 customer support available. Private Internet Access has world-class next-gen server infrastructure covering 83 countries, each and every United States state as well. And you can protect up to 10 devices at a time with Private Internet Access. Most other VPN support fewer connections, so you get a lot more bang for your buck with Private Internet Access. And since their VPN is 100% open source and their code is public, anyone can take a look under the hood. And today, I have a special offer for you in the description below and in the pinned comment. Make sure you pick up Private Internet Access today using my link and save huge. If you don't have a VPN yet, use the link in the description to save huge today and support the channel. So we got episode 5. We are more than 6 hours into the show, and literally freaking nothing's happened. Nothing. People are brooding. People are angry. Galadriel is teaching people how to use a sword and looking You mean you couldn't get a guy like Shad in there to help out so people could look somewhat natural wielding a sword? Good Lord. There's a scene where Galadriel's teaching soldiers how to fight orcs, and it's the dumbest crap I've ever seen in my life, and it looks terrible. Is that nitpicky? Probably, but it's the truth. Here's just some of the reviews coming through. Everyone on the Rings of Power is pissed off and conflicted. Thank God. What? Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, Episode 5 review. Partings. The Rings of Power finally moves the plot forward a little bit in Episode 5. But is it really enough at this point? No, it's not. There's also like hilarious gaffes in this episode that there's one point where there's 5 Númenórean ships. One of them got destroyed. And then they said 3 Númenórean ships set sail. What happened to that other Numenorian ship? And also, they're supposed to carry 100 soldiers each. By the way, doesn't seem like that many. And then you see like 15 of them actually on the ship. This is a reoccurring theme. I know that they use CGI in the original like Lord of the Kings trilogy to like fill out the armies. But like, why does it seem like you spend $1 billion and you have no humans? No people filling up the boat. Why is there like 3 dwarfs? Why aren't there hundreds of them? Why are the orcs, like, I don't understand. You see Den of the Geek, even like over the course of 5 episodes, it's become clear that the Rings of Power's strengths and weaknesses are. One of those weaknesses so far has been the politicking side of things. The show is at its best when it's depicting huge dramatic moments of battle or adventure, and it's at its weakest when examining the various power plays and conflicts between characters. It's because it's trying to be Game of Thrones. This episode takes a step forward in the latter direction as we start to see some conflict arising between several factions and within themselves, and get a bit more of a sense of what's driving all of them. It's especially true of Elrond Durin's storyline, which sees Elrond face genuine inner conflict for the first time in the series. His dilemma over whether to break his oath to Durin for the sake of his people gives us real insight into his character. That's true. Although this dilemma ends up being rather easily solved, because just like normal in this show, it's all build up and like no payoff. The wolves build up was how long, and we saw them for like a blink. Unlike any other TV character written, Elrond simply does a sensible thing and talks to Durin about it. The scene does give us one of the best lines of dialogue so far. A burden shared may be either halved or doubled, depending on the heart that receives it. It's a fair line. Elrond and Durin's relationship is one of the key pairings that's holding the show together, with a blend of relatable love, affection, and humor. It's a relief. So it's a relief to still see them together. Galadriel also gets a chance to deal with their own inner conflict after the episodes, making the same speech over and over again. When Halbrand questions her rhetoric about fighting Sauron and suggests what she is really interested in is vengeance, we see another side of Galadriel, and she suggests that Elrond and Gil-galad also actually saw too much similarity with their enemy in her. We're also reminded of her status as a warrior as we look forward to seeing her in action soon. I don't want to see Galadriel wielding a sword. Does anybody want to see that? By the way, I want her shooting arrows anyway. The Numenor storyline, by the way, which has been a train wreck, however, desperately needs some more work on the human politics side of things. There's a lot of potential for some really interesting developments in these characters and their relationships per Tolkien's outlines, but none of the potential so far has been realized in the series. The king is barely coherent, and the queen regent, Muriel, is mired in storylines about mysterious prophecies and foreboding and dilly-dallying over whether she should go to Middle-earth or not, whether she should be at the heart of politicking and power plays in Numenor. We finally get a tiny bit more insight into Chancellor Pharazôn in this episode, but not much. This is like a review that they are desperately picking through, like just trying to find anything positive to say. Like, it's just, there's nothing good to say about the show. How many of you, let me know in the comments, how many of you have bailed on the show already? By the way, if you're enjoying my videos, please do leave a like on it. So far as planned, it seems the Southlands are even more desperately in need of some attention. Imagine being 6 hours into a show that's 3 full-length movies and having so much that still needs more exposition, that still needs more information. They cast way too wide a net to start out, and they buried themselves. Now, could they come back around and fill all this stuff out? Sure, but that'll be like at the end of season 1. We're going to get like 1 episode of fighting? Maybe. And this, I mean, so suppose what, 8 episodes this season? Like, what? The season's going to be over before we ever get any actual, like, progress in the story, anything worth tuning in for. And of course, they have the Harfoots, which are pointless. and they keep putting them in the story because member berries hobbits. But like most of these, you know, you can see characters share their secrets this week as they come together to face the threat of darkness descending on Middle-earth. The episode is about making tough decisions and testing loyalties ahead of what's shaping up to be a big fight for the survival of humans in the Southlands. And IGN gave it a 7. So that's like a normal person's 4. Episode Rings of 5 has me jonesing for war. Like people, the problem with the slow burn is that they burn too dang slow. The payoff is going to have to be, honestly, the best 1-hour episode of anything in the history of the world. Do you think I'm being do you think I'm being crazy saying that? We've waited 6 hours. That payoff better be the best episode of anything to ever exist. And oh, by the way, Amazon has folded and returned the 1-star reviews after you all pointed it out. What a coinky dink. Remember yesterday how Amazon inexplicably just deleted all the 1-star reviews of the Rings of Power and then pretended like you were the crazy one? Well, I can happily report today, after massive backlash, that they have restored them. Much to their chagrin, because the show was a 4.1 without those. They really thought that they could do that. They thought that they could sneak that past us. And you could see, again, let me sort by the most recent reviews. Every single one of them is 1 star. And these are from today. 1 star on The Machinist, boring. If you want gripping dialogue and great acting, don't watch this dumpster fire. The lead character, Galadriel, is unlikable and totally insufferable. Every other character is completely forgettable and probably should be extras on a CW sitcom. The dialogue is clunky and boring. The jump around to different characters too much and the story goes nowhere. 5 episodes in and nothing has happened. They're setting up something, but I find myself not even caring what it is. I have fallen asleep during every episode. I mean, harsh, but true. 1 star. Tried hard to be deep and philosophical, but only came across as boring and pedantic. 1 star. A mess. 1 star. Massive disrespect to Tolkien and his vision of Numenor, Galadriel, Elendil, and Celebrimbor. 1 star. Insultingly modern and unfaithful to Tolkien's legacy. Amazon deleted my previous review, so I'll keep this safe. Or short. Fan fiction. 1 star. Based on Middle-earth, but 95% fan fiction. Not Tolkien. Bad writing. Bad dialogue. Soulless. My longer review was also deleted by Amazon. So you get more backlash because people are like, hey, wait, you deleted my review. Worst Tolkien adaptation ever. The writing, acting, and warped plot are all bad. It is not good in any aspect. Awful, awful, awful. This show is going to be below a 3 if Amazon actually let reviews come through. And I bet you it might be below 2. Because every time I check, it says 1-star reviews. Good Lord. I mean, I keep saying the next episode's got to be good. I feel like they've run out of time. I feel like they've become completely unwatchable, and the payoff just isn't going to be able to save it. I'll be interested in reading all your comments in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure before you leave a like on it and you click that red subscribe button down below. And we'll talk to you again real soon. Oh, and also don't forget, make sure you pick up private internet access today. It's linked in the pinned comment below. It's a massive discount. I don't know how long the sale's going on, but if you don't have VPN, private internet access is the one I use. Grab it today.